CNN political analyst Julian Zelizer is a professor of history and public affairs at Princeton University. He is the author and editor of 25 books, including the New York Times bestseller The Myth of America. Historians reveal the biggest lies in myths about our past. We're on cusp of Iowa caucuses and New Hampshire primaries, which have always earned undeserved reputation of being game-changers in presidential nominating process. Since shaking up the 1976 nominating campaign with a strong performance in Iowa that propelled him to victory in New Hampshire, former Georgia Gov became a pioneer. The nation turned its sights to the Hawkeye State to see if history could be made. The truth is that Iowa has not been an infallible determinant of success. George W. Bush was the last Republican candidate to win Iowa. Since caucuses began in 1972, there have been 18 caucus winners between the two parties, 10 Democrats and 8 Republicans. More than half of the winners secured their party's nomination this cycle, but only 3 were elected president. The Des Moines Register reported, "Remember Presidents Paul Tsongas and Pat Buchanan? You don't know because although they won the New Hampshire primary, they did not win their party's nomination for the White House." In 2024, caucuses and primaries may take a backseat to courtroom drama arising from 4 lawsuits against former President Donald Trump, the GOP frontrunner. If fortunes are to reverse, it will likely result from legal discovery and decisions that determine fate of former president, who remains by far strongest candidate for Republicans. In other words, it's all about experimentation. Although Trump has fulfilled his political motto of turning his greatest weakness, namely January 6th and everything surrounding it, into a strength, it is possible that he will turn the other way. Most importantly, there is some evidence to suggest that a conviction could significantly change the way Republican and independent voters think. While the indictments and trials have done little political damage Trump so far, they appear in many ways to have strengthened his position by fueling the anti-establishment message and making it harder for opponents to secure airtime. Fate will look very different. Various polls have found that most voters would view him negatively if he were convicted. For example, the New York TimesSiena poll leaves Trump's lead in 4 swing states open. Trump becoming a criminal rather than an indicted former president would not only change perception's situation, but much more attention could be focused on substance of criminal cases against Trump rather than atmosphere GOP primary race. Until now, most of the public was not very interested in politics. Unlike political junkies who focus on what Washington is doing on a daily basis, many Americans are more concerned about paying the bills and taking care of their children. The issues that have resonated in recent years are those that voters